Studio, one on the phone. We are celebrating the Pan African Film Festival, Film and Arts Festival, I should say. And I understand that the Arts Festival, which is going on now, I'll be heading over there today for Black Love Day. They've got great fine arts, they've got jewelry, they've got clothing. Let's go and recycle our dollars, okay? Because those merchants deserve our support, and we know that many were denied visas thanks to you know who in the White House, but the ones that got here deserve our love and support. So let's go on out and do some shopping, some retail therapy. Joining me in the studio right now, a British-Ghanaian actor, writer, and director. She's the creator and director of a film called Adinkra. Her work in general explores identity, memory, ancestral inheritance, and the blend of contemporary storytelling with West African philosophy. This marks her directorial debut, and she also stars in it, which is quite amazing for your first directing project. Golda Kesse, welcome.
Thank you.
So nice to have you, and thank you for coming in. I always love it when I get to meet people in person. So directorial debut, Pan African Film Festival. You're far away from home. Big deal. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm excited. My first time in LA.
Yeah.
Don't know what to expect, but I just felt it would be great to be on the ground and meet the people, speak to the people, and see what reception my film gets. So, yeah, super excited.
Yeah, you're an adventurous soul. Let me direct and star in my first picture and come to LA where I've never been.
Yeah, yeah, sounds like a big bit of me. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you are. Without adventurous women, we would not make any progress. Mm-hmm. We're also being joined on the phone, also heading here, but not until his film, closer to when his film is playing. He is a Nigerian filmmaker who does character-driven stories exploring identity, migration, and resilience. He broke out with a film called Hakkunde, which produced Walking with Shadows and directed the one that is in this year, the Pan-African thriller Three Cold Dishes, which is executive produced by Burna Boy. Oluseyi Amoa, welcome. Can you hear me? Okay, I know we're doing the Zoom across the pond thing. There he is. Good morning. Good morning. You weren't muted, were you?
Yeah, I was initially muted.
Even the most brilliant filmmakers forget to take the mute button off of Zoom. I feel redeemed by that. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about this one. Three Cold Dishes. We'll go a little deeper, but give us the overview.
So Three Cold Dishes is a Pan-African film. It tells story of three young women that were once trafficked, and years later, they decided to take revenge on those men who took away their innocence. It was shot across multiple African countries. We shot in Nigeria, Republic of Benin, Ivory Coast, and Mauritania. It's a mix of English and French. It's my second studio feature, and it's the most ambitious one I've ever embarked on. And it's a pleasure sharing this on a great festival like the Pan-African Film Festival.
You guys are going to have so much fun. The Pan-African Film Festival is well attended. Lots of, locals, but also lots of Hollywood types and so much fellowship. Golda Kesse, give me the same kind of overview of your film. Yours is a short, but give us a little taste of what it's about.
Yeah, so Adinkra is exciting. It's a world that is much bigger than the film, but Adinkra explores modernity, like being modern, and also like tradition. Talks about Adinkra symbols, which is from Ghana, Akan symbols, but each of these symbols have philosophies. And in this film, we'll be exploring what it looks like to return and get it and go into the past in order to build the future. And it's a mixture of like it's a mix of grounded reality, but with a touch of fantasy.
Like a magical realism.
Inspired by the works of like C.S. Lewis, with like, but also very UK, and hopefully something that speaks to the rest of the world as well.
Yeah. It's funny because as Black Americans, we think of UK as white, but that's not really, that's not fair, is it?
It's not, but I guess that's why it's so important to make these films. I think that there's definitely an appetite for these African stories, especially told through a contemporary lens. So just excited to see what the rest of the diaspora thinks of this work.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially right now. I've been to Ghana.
You've been to Ghana?
Yeah, I've been there
Nice.
3 times. I've been to Nigeria twice. We went to Benin year before last, right, Miles?
Oh, wow, international.
But haven't been to, I don't even know how to say, Ivory Coast in French.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire. I'll get it. See, I'll learn it today before the day is over. And haven't been to Mauritania, although I would love to go. That seems like a lot of schlepping with a whole crew. What was that experience like shooting in so many different, not just nations, but also languages, cultures? Those borders are more than an ocean.
It was tough, but the good thing with Three Cold Dishes we spent about 2 years in research. And part of the things we did in research was also taking some of the HODs across the routes to which we were telling the story. So I think more than 3 times we were all smuggled across the border, even during the the pandemic, and the old borders were shut, almost 6 borders shut, and we had to go through the smuggling route.
Wow.
It was fun, scary, but
terrifying.
It kind of helped.
If you haven't, okay, I don't want to discourage you because I always encourage people to go to Africa. When we went to Benin, Miles actually started. Didn't you? Isn't that when you ended up working at the border? For like they basically recruited our production director here, and suddenly he's working there.
Communities, the small communities, yes.
So you went the smuggling routes, but you survived.
Yeah, we survived, and then it was the confidence for also the HODs to say, okay, you know what, at least we made it through more than once. I think we can survive the actual principal photography, and beyond that, it also helps in how the story was told, because we try as much as possible to be as authentic as possible, especially for those who have crossed those that route, for survivors who have traveled that path to feel like this is their story, unapologetic or unfiltered, make it as raw as possible. Was that challenging? Yes, obviously it was challenging. Imagine moving about 120 crew and cast across 6 countries. It was tough.
Tough, but you got it done.
Benin,
yeah, go ahead.
It was easy from Nigeria to Benin, but from Benin to Ivory Coast, we had to go through Ghana, we had to go through Togo, and sometimes it can be very chaotic across the road border. And so imagine almost 100 people having to stamp at every border. And at each borders, you have 2 borders, the exiting one and the arrival border.
That's right.
It was tough.
Yeah.
We ran into, if for something like this with every research, we can overplan unforeseen circumstances. We planned and we made room for shocks, but there was a bigger one that none of us really planned for, which was us losing an entire equipment truck during the filming in the Republic of Benin.
Wow.
And that nearly ended the entire shoot. In fact, it cost us almost 1 year to complete the principal photography just because of that. I think we could have escaped that if we were only shooting everything in Nigeria. But again, no regrets. If I had to do it again, I'll definitely take the story to the countries where the story was set. It also helps in learning and understanding that we all have shared stories, shared reality, shared nuances. The only difference is just the language. And yeah, it makes it for a beautiful adventure trip at the end of the day. But it was also tough trying to capture all of this across the 4 countries.
We've got 2 great directors on today. Golda Kesse, director of Adinkra, and Oluseyi Amua, director of Three Cold Dishes, will tell you where you can see them. We'll find out more about the process, the art, the work, the inspiration when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
We got to laugh the pain away.
Hey, KBLA delegation, happy Black History Month. Around here, we celebrate our culture, our community, and our contributions daily. But this year, as we observe the 100th anniversary of Black History Month celebrations, we're excited about our annual KBLA Talk 1580 Black History Month Luncheon, honoring comedy greats. On Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum in downtown LA, we're toasting D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Munel, Dion Cole, and Martin Lawrence with a surprise guest appearance. A limited number of individual tickets for the luncheon remain, so now would be a good time to head to KBLA1580.com to secure one for yourself. That's KBLA1580.com. A little laughter goes a long way, especially in times like these. So come, join us for our annual KBLA Talk 1580 Black History Month Luncheon, Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum. Again, tickets are available right now at KBLA1580.com.
Well, I hang around my boy. He been married for 6 years. Videotaping his wedding day, never watched it. Now and every day he watch it every day, but he watch it in reverse. Because he said he loves seeing himself take that ring back off of that finger. Walking back down that aisle, just waving at her ugly mother down the church. Getting back in the limo, back at the bachelor party. Look how happy I was.
KBLA Talk 1580 thanks LA City Council members Curran D. Price Jr. and Heather Hutt for being the presenting sponsors at this year's Black History Month Luncheon. Honoring excellence, resilience, and achievement, we're KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, yo, come on. Become the drum.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And yes, it is my privilege to speak with two accomplished directors, both of whom have, well, I should say accomplished. You are accomplished because you finished a doggone thing. So many people work years and years and years and grow old trying to make one film. Golda Kesse is here. She's the director of Adinkra. It's her first one. It's done. It's a short. You can see it at the Pan-African Film Festival. Oluseyi Amua is here. Three Cold Dishes. It's done. You can see it at the Pan-African Film, and I should say Film and Arts Festival. Golda, talk to me. Obviously, your film is in English for people that don't know Africa. Mm-hmm. You're from the UK. Ghana is also an English-speaking country. Yeah. So your film is in English. But from what I saw, the thing that really impressed me was the acting.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, talk to me about, I mean, obviously you are one of the actors and you're great, really great. But you're also directing yourself, which seems really hard. Talk to me about that. I mean, just your background, your approach. I hope no one takes offense to this, but as Black Americans, or sometimes you think of like Nollywood or something and you think of bad acting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the approach was really interesting. I had to trust my DOP. I had to trust him. And
Director of photography.
Yeah, director of, sorry, my lingo. And the thing is, he's a white Eastern European man in his like 40s. And I had to mood board.
She's a millennial, zillennial. Really probably more on the Gen Z side, right?
Yeah. So I had to trust my vision in his hands when I was acting. I'm a painter, and I have a friend who's always said this: that painting and directing filmmakers are pretty much the same eye. It's more about storytelling visually.
I mean, if you think about storyboards and, production design and things, that makes sense.
Yeah. So literally, I started off in fine art. I have also a background in film and TV production as well as radio. So I did like media, but also I have a huge background in anthropology. And this is where, again...
Anthropology? Okay, girl.
Yeah, anthropology. And this is where my love for stories come into it, but also human culture and seeing like the evolution of Black Britishness. Like we're fairly new, like Blackness in the UK compared to America, for example. And the landscape is changing. I'm Ghanaian, but through my parents, because I was born in the UK, but they came from Ghana to the UK.
Right. And I'm sure they brought culture with them.
And they brought culture with them. But what happens 2 generations down the line? If I don't know how to speak my language, I can't speak fluent and can. Well, my mum would probably say I can't, but I could say my can's not bad, which is a language in Ghana. But this film just kind of sparked, what happens if we don't document our culture? But also, what happens if we also embrace how it's evolving? And there's when, I'm between worlds and saying, okay, cool. Why don't I document in a fun, gripping way Ghanaian stories, but through a Black British lens? And hopefully the world will also appreciate that.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're all getting a little bit more sophisticated about the way people, cultures, and communities move around, the way we influence each other, and we carry our ancestors with us in our DNA wherever we go. Oluseyi Omua, you said your bio says your film was executive produced by Burna Boy. What does that mean? How did that come about?
So myself and Burna, we've got a strong working relationship. I was the official content collector during his first US tour in 2018.
Hard job.
We did Coachella together in 2019, and I've done a couple of documentaries with him in the past. In fact, I stopped doing that for Spaceship because I was developing Three Cool Dishes in 2019. And when we started, Three Cool Dishes was just myself and other co-production companies. We have like 2 in France, 1 in Amsterdam, 1 in Ivory Coast, and the rest are just production companies in Nigeria. We didn't have Burna on board Three Cool Dishes till after the accident that happened in the Republic of Benin, which was midway the shoot. And when we lost everything, and I had to make rapid decision if we have to continue this shoot or just call it another bad idea that wasn't supposed to happen.
Wow,
but
that's
the
crazy.
drive for telling the story, because this is the reality. Three Cool Dishes mirror real people and real people's experience, and it's still happening up till today. I mean, the movement of young girls being trafficked across the border, and it does seem normal, right? So, and I've got 2 beautiful daughters that I in most of my research, it could happen to anybody. Like you can't even, it can happen to anybody.
Well,
like,
look, I mean, we're dealing with the Epstein files here in the United States. So if people are not thinking
Right.
about human trafficking and the exploitation of young girls and women,
Yeah.
they're not paying attention.
No. So the drive was, I had to just say, you know what, as a producer, you've got to do whatever it takes to complete the film. Shutting it down at this stage is not an option. And then I had to make quick call. So the only set of people, because you know, on production, even when you're not filming every day, your production cost is still rising. Like you've got to feed almost over 100 people, you've got to house them, accommodation and equipment rentals, everybody is on contract, so every day is a minus. So I have to reach out to people that I know can make quick and swift financial decision on my network. And Burna's mom was just one person that I could think of, also because I knew the story will resonate with her. I did like a short teaser on the set after we clean up the whole accident situation. And I shared everything with her, like, okay, it's still the same project that I've been on since I left spaceship. And then it connects easily with her. And she just told me to just continue, find the resources to complete the first leg of the shoot. And then they were just on their way to LA on that day, and said once they get back to Lagos, we pick up the conversation, and definitely they are on board on Three Cold Dishes. And that's how we got Burna Boy and Spaceship on board Three Cold Dishes.
Well, Three Cold Dishes can be seen Monday at 2 p.m. at the Cinemark Baldwin Hills XD, and that's at 2 p.m. Friday the 20th at 11 a.m. at the Culver Theater. Also, we can see Adinkra Wednesday, February 18th at 4:10 p.m. at the Culver Theater. They're so exact. And Thursday, February 19th at 9:45. You don't have to memorize this. You can go to paff.org, paff.org. You can buy a pass. You can be a festival VIP, or you can just get one ticket or two tickets to just see a couple of shows. It's all at paff.org. You find the poster, you click on it, and it will give you show times as well for that. And for my LA audience, one of the screenings of Three Cold Dishes is a benefit for Cross Unity Center, which is super popular with our listeners. That's the 2:00 fundraiser. That's at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw. Most of the screenings are at Culver. This one is Baldwin Hills Crenshaw. They're giving dinner and a movie, or you could just do dinner or just do the movie. And then Torre Brannon Reese, who is a singer, will perform after. They're having a silent auction, door prizes. Like, that's a whole thing, okay? So you can call them 323-759-7567, 323-759-7567. More straight ahead after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominic DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Attorneys for Miramar Martinez say they'll file a federal lawsuit after she was shot 5 times by a Border Patrol agent in Chicago last fall.
This agent should be off the streets. I believe he should be criminally prosecuted.
They accuse agents and Homeland Security of lying about the incident. A new University of Houston poll shows Black Democrat Jasmine Crockett leading her primary as Texas's Senate race heads toward likely runoffs. While Republicans battle on their side, Crockett holds a clear advantage in her field, positioning her strongly for November. And Oklahoma carried out its first execution of the year as Black inmate Kendrick Simpson was put to death Thursday morning in McAllister. Simpson had been on death row for a 2006 drive-by shooting in Oklahoma City that killed 19-year-old Anthony Jones and 20-year-old Glenn Palmer. His final words were, "I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here to support me." Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Head to Waba Grill weekdays after 3 p.m. for their $5 happy hour and try their new chili crisp dumplings. Bold, crunchy, and toss in a fiery crisp paired with a premium Waba beverage drink like their authentic Thai tea. Get both for just $5 only at Waba Grill. It's for you.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers got an important win Thursday night heading into the All-Star break. They needed a win after losing their last 2 at home. The Lakers beat Dallas 124-104, a game in which LeBron made more history. At age 41, LeBron became the oldest NBA player to post a triple-double, 28 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds. The Lakers go into the break with a 33-21 record, 5th in the Western Conference. Tonight's NBA HBCU Classic at the Forum will be a conference game for Hampton University and North Carolina A&T. Both schools are now in the Coastal Athletic Conference after being longtime members in the MEAC Conference. This will be the 6th HBCU Classic during NBA All-Star Weekend. The NBA started the event in 2021 with the intent of creating more exposure for HBCU men's basketball programs. 8 o'clock tip-off tonight in Inglewood. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the Southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DePrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
They call it progress, but progress has a price. Land once held in black hands, taken, stolen, erased. Acres paved into highways, fields burned. Homes replaced by parking lots and broken promises. Every deed lost was a dream deferred. We talk about millionaires, but what about the millionaires that never were? The farmers whose soil was seized, the families who watched their inheritance disappear, the wealth that never had a chance to grow because its roots were ripped from the ground. They took the land, but never the legacy, because the soil remembers, and so do we. Every story matters. Our mission is to collect, preserve, and amplify these stories. If this is part of your family's history, visit blacklandlost.org/share your story and help bring us closer to justice.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back indeed. I have 2 directors on the radio with me this morning. One from afar overseas, one right with me here in the studio. Golda Kesse is here. Her film Adinkra is at the Pan-African Film Festival. It is her directorial debut, but she's also acting in it. So let's get to the basic, like why should we go see this movie? What is it about?
Oh, Adinkra, what it's about. So it's set in the north of England, which isn't quite typical, I would say. Like normally when you hear Black British dramas or Black British films, it's set in like London or Birmingham. So it's set in the countryside in a pub. So pubs, I don't know, do you guys have pubs in?
Well, we call them bars. I don't think it's quite the same.
No, we have pubs, like good old English pubs. It's set there, and it's like that's a bit of like a juxtaposition because typically you don't really see black people in pubs. That's why in London there's a pub called Prince of Peckham, and it's in Peckham, which is typically like quite a black area, but it's a pub, so it's a really cool pub. So I like that juxtaposition of them meeting in a pub, and it's one scene. It's an elongated scene, but it's inspired by the Euphoria. There's like a Christmas special that was really gripping, and I felt like it's really important to just see people speak. I think we've sometimes lost the art of just watching people speak, and the extraordinary can come from the ordinary. So Karim meets Samira in the pub, and he has a revelation for her, one that she's skeptic, but he's a bit more like a truth seeker, and he brings this truth to her. Whether she believes or accepts it is about her ancestral past linked to Adinkra symbols, and we see if they go in the adventure or not.
Well, I do think that the power and Not just power, mystical power, yes, but also the information, historical, anthropological, to your training power of our ancestral ties is underutilized by Black people everywhere in the diaspora.
100%, and that's why I feel like there's an urgency now to create stories like that, just so we hear about Greek philosophy and Greek anthropology and Greek, a lot of our as Black people, we can learn a lot from African stories and how African people live in terms of society as well, and dynamics. And hopefully, I hope to embody that more in my films. But Adinkra just talks about how everyday African philosophy can influence or ring true for anybody, but more so with people of the diaspora.
Yeah, I think it's important right now too. I don't know if you're aware, but in this country we're experiencing division between Black Americans and Black people in the diaspora, and some of that is brought about by the perception among us that African people don't respect us. They don't understand the struggle. They don't give credit for what we've built and what we've overcome and the way we've opened doors for immigrants, including Africans, into this country. So folks walk in and go, you're underachievers. But they don't see the struggle. They don't see. And so I think it's important for us to find those commonalities and stay united, because I don't think it benefits anyone, Africa's children in the diaspora or on the motherland, for us to be divided.
I 100% agree, and that's one of my missions. I feel like even I see some rhetoric online against Black Brits versus Americans that, were stealing their jobs in Hollywood, etc. However, we need to go back. And this film was actually inspired by a DNA test. Someone, as a prank, bought me a DNA test and was like, oh, you're not Ghanaian. Shock horror, I was like 65% Nigerian. And I was like, what? Our jollof rice is the best. But yeah, so I found out 65% Nigerian from this test, but also like 10% Somali, 15% Sierra Leone, part English. And I was like, you know what does it mean to be West African? It's to be Ghanaian, it's to be West African, it's to be everything. And also the DNA test showed I had relatives, but two stood out to me. One of them were like 4 separations away from me, and I reached out to her, and she remembers like my dad's house in Ghana. She remembers all of this, but we were separated. I also saw that there was another Black American who was the same degrees of separation from me, and I'm like, wow, we're still related in the same way I'm related to this other woman who has the same amount of DNA that I have, but this person was taken away from my family due to like the horrific slave trades. And it's like they have ancestral stories that ring true to them and like would resonate with their soul. What would I tell them? What would I tell him? Yeah,
I mean, and to your point, I mean, I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but I think one of the reasons that Black American people in Hollywood feel that English Black actors and directors are taking our jobs is because it is happening. And one of the reasons that it's happening is not the fault of the actors. They're going to take whatever opportunity they can get. But in Hollywood, they're less scared of British Black people because they don't see you guys as rebellious as us. And for us, it's like, if we can't play Harriet Tubman, then what can we play? Right? Yeah. That is our ancestor. That is our struggle embodied. If we can't play Harriet Tubman, what can we play? Yeah. But I feel like we have to find a way to be united. And I'm going to throw it to Oluseyi Amua, because when we were in Nigeria, right, Miles? When you got into it with that DJ, is that where we were? We were in Nigeria. Miles is quiet today, but he kind of got into a little dust up with the DJ there, who called him an akata. And as soon as we walk in the club, he starts playing Kendrick Lamar over and over and over and over and over and over and over like that, and boots on the ground, and we felt that it was demeaning. We did. We felt like we were being stereotyped. Miles took offense. Anyway, I bring that up to say this conversation about unity and this conversation about Black people throughout the diaspora. And certainly in your film, 3 Cold Dishes, you're dealing with an issue that hits all of us. Black Americans know a thing or two about being trafficked, but I think it's something that that touches every every corner of the diaspora. So frame that unity in terms of your work and what you see there.
I think it's in the ethos of the making of Three Cold Dishes to say that, which is why we're here today. There is no strength in division, right? Nollywood is a big industry, but beyond Nollywood, what can an African cinema looks like? Because at the end of the day, our stories are just the same, right? It's the same way we can watch anything from Ghana, anything from South Africa, and we can relate to it because our struggles still remain the same. We breathe the same head, same color, like same roots at the end of the day. So I think it strikes in the ethos of the making of Three Cold Dishes to say, what can a Pan-African movie looks like? There is this interest to want to conquer the West, but beyond the West, how about we show what we can do in our strength when we collaborate beyond the borders, right?
Would either one of you guys ever hire a Black American actor for one of your projects?
Of course.
On Three Cold Dishes, we actually I hate classification. I'm sorry, but we have an American Ivorian actor in Three Cold Dishes called Bamba Jam Bamba. He was in Black Panther, and he was in Three Cold Dishes, right? He's from LA, by the way.
All right, shout out West Side.
And he's going to be attending the festival, right? So I don't fall into classification. I feel like if you remove the Black, we have African, regardless of the region that you base, either in Africa or outside Africa. You can never take that out of us, and that's the power of film and cinema. Always trying to just use storytelling to reinforce this, and we are in a time where our stories are now traveling beyond borders, being celebrated not just only in Africa, but in far North America, which means people there can connect to it. They find a relatable characters, relatable story, relatable struggle in what they're watching, and they celebrate enough to want to even pick it for a festival that is not even showcasing that spotlight on African storytelling, right? And I'm not even there. Like today, I'm not in the US, I'm not in LA, but my works is being showcased, and so I see no division, and it's the reason why I don't fall into this classification.
I'm surprised you consider yourself Nollywood, though. You kind of just said that.
So, I would say so. I would say Nollywood because this is where I am based, right?
Nigeria. You're right.
My story would shine Nigerianness in all sense of it because my primary constituency is still Nigeria, right? But beyond Nigeria is Africa. So Three Cold Dishes was like a tester of that. What can it look like? My first film, which was Hakkunde, was a full Nollywood movie. But Three Cold Dishes is a Pan-African movie. It's not a Nollywood movie. In fact, it's 70% French, and we are English-speaking country.
But don't worry, there's subtitles. So, and you, Golda, I mean, there's no Ghana wood, but you're actually from England. So yeah. Are you part of the diaspora? Are you one of Africa's scattered children? Not really, because your parents immigrated, but at the same time. So what wood are you? Hollywood, Nollywood, England wood?
That's the thing. I think Black Britishness is becoming a thing. And I would say that I'm Ghanaian, yes. But I think I would say I'm Black British first of Ghanaian descent because I was born in London. I was raised in London. And I feel like this is a new subculture that's being birthed. And I'm like very keen to be a new contributor, a key contributor. And also that's how we need to make our work. Because like, you know, this whole argument about Brits coming to the States, a lot of that is because we're only 3% of the population. Only Black British, only 3%
of the British population. Wow.
Versus America, so there's more opportunities here. However, what happens if we start to create our own opportunities? However, there are more gatekeepers in the US, in the UK. It's harder. Like social mobility is a bit harder.
There's a lot of gatekeepers here. Trust and believe. We just don't take no for an answer. But Golda Kesse is here. She's a director and star of Adinkra. You can see it February 18th at 4:10. February 19th at 9:45. On the phone, we have Oluseyi Amua. You can see his film, Three Cold Dishes, February 16th at 2 p.m. That's at Baldwin Hills. It's a whole extravaganza. It's a benefit for Crass Unity Center. And Friday, February 20th at 11 a.m. at the Culver Theater. Find all of that info at paff.org for panafricanfilmfestival.org. You just click on the picture of the movie you want, and they'll tell you when it is, and you can buy a ticket. Or if you're a pass holder, boy, are you fortunate. You can see all the movies you can take during the film festival. The film part of it runs from the 16th, I believe, through the 20-something. I got to go. 21st, I think, or 22nd. I'll look on there. I'll tell you when we come forward. Okay, I should know that. It's the 7th through the 16th for the Art Festival, 16th through the 22nd for the Film Festival. More straight ahead on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement. Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
Family trees. We're doing. See, that's the magic of your movie, Golda. You got us, digging into our ancestral lineage. And I say that I'm joking, but I'm not joking, because I feel like, and maybe, I don't know if you feel this in the UK. I doubt maybe it's like this in Nigeria. I don't know. But the fact that our history is actively being robbed of us, like the city of Philadelphia is suing the federal government to get them to put back plaques that tell the story of enslaved Black Americans who were enslaved by the first president of the United States, George Washington, and that Donald Trump is actively erasing that. It feels even more urgent than ever for us to, yes, be fully grounded, because we were talking about, are you Ghanaian? Golda Kesse, are you British? Are you diasporan? Are you Black UKan? Like, how do you define yourself, and how does that impact your art?
Yeah, so my parents came from Ghana to the UK. I was born and bred in the UK. So I have like I'm like a third culture kid, like two culture kid, in the fact that I still feel very connected to my Ghanaian roots. However, when I go to Ghana, I'm not Ghanaian. They're like, you're British, or they call you like you're Caucasian, you're white, you're foreign.
Yeah, which is so weird. Yeah, I went through that in South Africa. You're not Black.
Yeah.
Because I'm light-skinned.
Yeah.
I guess, or because I'm American. That's what Miles was going through. He ain't that light. But, you know, and I think it's a pet peeve of mine. We have to start understanding the difference between nationality, ethnicity, culture, religion, you know, race, which is a social made-up construct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that is doing what you're doing through art, digging into the past, but also rooting it in where we are right now.
Definitely. And also acknowledging that, for example, Black Britishness, or like the fact that I am a two culture kid, Ghana and the UK, both of them are as important to me, my identity. I'm not just Ghanaian, because I can't 100% relate to the average Ghanaian, but I'm definitely not just British. So it's the importance of triangulation and just understanding actually it's okay to embrace both of our cultures, knowing where we came from, keeping and holding on to our core ancestral identity, but also understanding that it's evolving, culture's evolving, you know, society's evolving.
PAFF.org. Oluseyi Amua, I want to ask you, as a man dealing with this intensely, I mean, we'd see it as a woman's issue, right? Even though most of the time the traffickers aren't women, unless you're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, how did you approach that? How did you delve into and empathize with these stories? I mean, you mentioned your daughters, but beyond that, as a filmmaker, you've got to tell the full story.
So I think it's reflected in the kind of team that we assemble in bringing Three Cold Dishes to life. Yeah, I directed and produced it, but it was written. I wrote the first story draft, but the screenplay was written by a woman. Her name is Tomi Adeshina, and I had the co-director during the research phase, called Apolline Traoré. She's a French director. And then the rest is just my personal conviction. Because most of the time, or majority of the perpetrators are men.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like it's using the access and my privilege to kind of like show this and tell it to that the struggle doesn't, it does affect women more than, at least by statistics, we have more victims, female victims than male victims. But we can also leave the efforts of driving the narratives in the hands of women only, right? So for me, I was able to assemble quality people who can contribute authentically in their own, bringing their own personal experience or privileges or nuances that they are that they hold into the storytelling. And the storytelling style was also driven by a woman. Like the entire journey of Three Cold Dishes was narrated by a mother sort of who saw the growth of these girls in the connection house, and it's played by a respectful person. So,
and I didn't mean any disrespect when I said, you know, I'm surprised you call yourself Nollywood. I'm only saying because when I saw the trailer, it didn't look like what I associate with Nollywood. I definitely want to go see this film, and of course, if you're, you know, when you said Three Cold Dishes, I said, revenge, a dish best served cold.
what people think of Nollywood is not for me to define, you know.
Of course.
Nollywood is a tag name for any film production or film product out of Nigeria. And I'm a Nigerian filmmaker first, and then African at large. So, beyond that, Nollywood is quite diverse, and I think it's up for anybody to actually go and research. Beyond the low budget, fast production type of movies that you see, there are also amazing works of Nollywood.
Yeah, but that's Netflix's fault, because those are the ones they choose to put on there that make us think that, you know, that's all that's going on. So you have to forgive us for that. The clock goes so fast when we're on the radio, and I'm so pleased to have met you both. Now I will definitely be at both of your films. Oluseyi Amua, 3 Cold Dishes, and of course, Golda Kesse, Adinkra. You can go to paff.org and get all the information. Thank you both so very much.
And thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Indeed, paff.org. The best of Tavis Smiley is up next. All of the great highlights from the week he had, and what a week it was. It was a crazy week around here. Please follow us at KBLA 1580. You can talk back there. I'll see you at the festival. I'm going to be going to a bunch of films, so see me there. Going over to the art show at the Baldwin Hills today. Get me some clothes, some jewelry, some artwork. And paff.org. Yeah, see you there. Like my dad, the great Amiri Baraka, used to say, a person is either free or they are not free. There can be no apprenticeship for freedom. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Attorneys for Miramar Martinez say they'll file a federal lawsuit after she was shot 5 times by a Border Patrol agent in Chicago last fall.
This agent should be off the streets. I believe he should be criminally prosecuted.
They accuse agents and Homeland Security of lying about the incident. A new University of Houston poll shows Black Democrat Jasmine Crockett leading her primary as Texas's Senate race heads toward likely runoffs. While Republicans battle on their side, Crockett holds a clear advantage in her field, positioning her strongly for November. And Oklahoma carried out its first execution of the year as Black inmate Kendrick Simpson was put to death Thursday morning in McAllister. Simpson had been on death row for a 2006 drive-by shooting in Oklahoma City that killed 19-year-old Anthony Jones and 20-year-old Glenn Palmer. His final words were, "I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here to support me." Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Head to Waba Grill weekdays after 3 p.m. for their $5 happy hour and try their new chili crisp dumplings. Bold, crunchy, and tossed in a fiery crisp paired with a premium Waba beverage drink like their authentic Thai tea. Get both for just $5 only at Waba Grill. It's for you.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers got an important win Thursday night heading into the All-Star break. They needed a win after losing their last 2 at home. The Lakers beat Dallas 124-104, a game in which LeBron made more history. At age 41, LeBron became the oldest NBA player to post a triple-double, 28 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds. The Lakers go into the break with a 33-21 record, 5th in the Western Conference. Tonight's NBA HBCU Classic at the Forum will be a conference game for Hampton University and North Carolina A&T. Both schools are now in the Coastal Athletic Conference after being longtime members in the MEAC Conference. This will be the 6th HBCU Classic during NBA All-Star Weekend. The NBA started the event in 2021 with the intent of creating more exposure for HBCU men's basketball programs. 8 o'clock tip-off tonight in Inglewood. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Check it out. After nearly 40 years of conversations with presidents, poets, and cultural icons, I have learned that the difference between a good conversation and an unforgettable one is not what you say, it is how you listen. Most people listen to respond. I learned to listen to learn and follow. When you master this, something remarkable happens. People just open up. They leave the conversation feeling truly heard, and they never forget you. Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, and for the first time in my life, I'm teaching everything I have learned. The Art of Conversation, a 4-week masterclass for podcasters, leaders, and professionals who understand that the ability to connect is their greatest competitive advantage. Our founding cohort starts Monday, February the 16th, and only a limited number of seats remain. Enroll right now at TavisTalks.com. That's TavisTalks.com.
Yeah, this is all good.
Time now for the best of Tavis Smiley on KBLA Talk 1580.
Live from historic Lamert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's Best of Tavis Smiley show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley, and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley.